Well, hello, welcome to Talking About Speedway. Graeme Sinden with you, and alongside me in the studio, Con Migro. Welcome to the program, Con.
Nice to be with you, Graeme. It's warming up outside, so I think summer's really started.
Certainly has, and summer Speedway has really started. Con, what sort of a season have we had so far, and where are we going on December the 6th?
Yeah, well, it's been a brilliant start to the season when you consider we've had 3 big nights and it's been freezing cold each night, but now the warmth's here, and already we're seeing the trickle of American and interstate drivers making it across to the Motorplex, and so I think we're in for some red-hot racing from now until virtually the end of the season.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment, Con, but there's some bigger and more important news to start with, and that's none other more important than this. Congratulations on Linda and your 60th wedding anniversary.
Thank you very much, Graeme. It was amazing, and I couldn't believe when you sent me that message on last Sunday when you said something like 21,300 people had responded to it, and that.
Well, I think it's closer to 25 now. So
amazing. So it just shows you probably we've touched the lives of some people, not only in Australia but all around the world.
Well, Con, I can absolutely see why you snapped up Linda, and it's just a pity that Specsavers weren't around in those days. I mean, boy, what was she doing with you?
Well, that's right. Well, see, women age a lot better than men. That's all I can say. Mind you, I've had a very secure life. I didn't really do much in my life. No, not half.
But Con, isn't it important that you have people like Linda behind you when you're doing the job that you were doing, particularly in Speedway? I mean, you can't do that on your own, and it's very difficult if you've got a partner that's not on the same page. So to have Linda with you, by you, behind you is very, very important, and she needs as much credit as you in the contribution you've both made to Speedway.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you a little story that the hours that we spent, like Gavin does today, including Christmas Day and Boxing Day and all those days that people were celebrating, we were out working, and then this was pre-emails and mobile phones to a certain extent, and a lot of the phone calls we had to make to get probably the English team, which I worked with Nigel Bucock, who captained England, and also the Americans with Bob Trossel. That was done in the wee small hours of Perth time because they had to get up and ring them on the old landline.
Yes, indeed. Well, anyhow, congratulations, Con. A fantastic job, both you and Linda, of course.
Thank
and
you,
60 years, not to be sneezed at.
No, I'm lucky I got that far.
Well, let's get on to some Speedway business now, some real Speedway business, and that is, of course, and we mentioned Dane on the last show, but I wanted again just to talk about Dane because the significance of his win is not to be underestimated. And if you take a close look at that right rear tyre on his car, it's absolutely shot to pieces. So what a great result for Dane and Western Australians.
Well, it just shows you that he can't only do it on the Motorplex, he can do it over on the eastern states of Australia. And of course that was a fairly new track, as we know, Timmins Speedway. It's also a similar track to the Motorplex, is wide open, big high banks, and he's proved that he's a winner everywhere. And we've probably got the strongest sprint cars ever in our history in Western Australia, and who would ever think that a driver like him could be dominating so much like he has at the moment? It's not because the other guys are not trying, it's just this guy's gone to another class.
But the whole team, when you think about it, Con, over the years with Kerry Madsen and other drivers they've had in the car, including Ron, of course, but it's just been a wonderful team and a contribution to Speedway that they have made, isn't it?
Well, they had the great Brooke Tapnell drive from as well. And, when you go back when Peter Cricky was convinced to go and buy a sprint car just to help publicise his business in Bunbury, little did he know that some 30 years later, they are still at the top of the tree in sprint car racing. But that just shows you the organisation that Peter Cricky has and his son Ryan. They've kept this team very much alive, and they've had the eye of picking the right drivers. They took a huge risk, and I say a huge risk when selecting Dane Kingshott because he was a local. He hadn't had international experience. But as I said the last show, and I'll say it once again, I reckon he's turned out to be the best of the lot.
Well, I tend to agree with you, Con. Local product, how good is that?
Yeah.
And here he is over there on the back wheels. They've had a lot of rain over there, of course, and that heavily impacted on the Napa event in Adelaide. But boy, as I say, they've just been a cracking team over a long period of time at the highest level.
Yeah, well, that was a pop-up track at the Scotch College grounds in Adelaide. It was Speedway in the city. In excess of 400,000 people went to Adelaide for the weekend, and so the people that are knocking Burswood here in West Australia, wait until it's completely up and running, because I can assure you that that will also give them an opportunity. They're not going to run Speedway, but that we have the opportunity to get the sorts of crowds that are required to make these events really happen. But going back to a pop-up track, it will be by today. It's probably just about all but taken away, and now the sprinklers are on the lawns, and within a week's time you wouldn't have even known there'd been a Speedway there. But you've got to tip your hat to Speedway Australia and all the team that have done that. Gavin never went this year because of his youngest son's birthday, and so he chose to have some family time. But normally he goes over there and he helps to organise the event.
Yes, well, as if he hasn't got enough to do with Speedway over here with the December the 6th meeting coming up, and then, of course, moving into Boxing Day, Speed Week, American High Limit International, and oh boy. Yeah, it's the busiest part of Speedway for the whole year, isn't it?
It's very exciting, Graeme, and it's one time of the year that you can't afford to miss, because it's, well, particularly what's happening now with the motortainment we've got coming our way, and with the drivers we've got. I mean, it's just like a who's who in the world of sprint car racing.
Well, as we said, December the 6th at the Perth Motorplex, we've got the John Day Classic for speed cars, do it for the general, and then we've got the jolly good WA Sprintcar Championship. Wow, it's just going to be a sensational night, including late models and wingless. So hold on to your hats. Bring someone to hold on.
And I'll tell you a little story about that. When you look at the lineup and the competitors that have nominated, it just shows you how important it is to be on the money right from the get-go, because Andrew Priolo is coming back to racing after a little stay off the sports for a couple of weeks. So, I think we're in for one cracking night, and then we move into Boxing Day, and then, of course, the all-important high limits for the $110,000 race to win on the 30th of December 2025.
Well, Con, let's just talk about the WA Sprintcar Championship to kick off. We did do a little bit of this last week, but we've got some further information now we can add to that.
Yes.
Let's have a look now. Brock Zierfoss coming back from the USA.
Yes, he arrived here last Sunday with his wife this time.
Yes, good.
Yeah. Then you've got Luke Oldfield from Queensland, Jai Corbett, and Justin Woodall from the United States. So there's 4 already, and another 8 or 10 still to come.
Well, of course, they're vetting themselves in, aren't they, for the big races, but how good is it to include them in the WA Sprint Car Championship right here in Perth?
And I think this is good for Brock, because I'm not saying he hasn't been a disappointment, but he hasn't had the wins that he should have. And we saw what young Newton did in that car last week, so he's a guy that really and truly will certainly set the field alight, and if he's hot off a top-class American season to be here, and then he'll be ready to go racing.
Well, they certainly are an exciting bunch of drivers that we've got coming in. Here's the entry list, Con, and you did mention briefly that Andrew Priolo will be back in the field, and there he is in the number 8 car on the screen. We've got Matthew Cross back after 2 big crashes in 2 meetings. We've got Tom Callahan back after he sprint in the 360s, and
Cameron McKenzie.
I hope Tom's mum's got someone to hold on to.
Oh, she's got you, Graeme.
Dear, oh dear, she's a nervous cat on a hot tin roof when her son's racing. Chad Pittard back after a wedding last meeting, so that'll be good. It's a cracking field, isn't it?
Yeah, it is brilliant. And what a fantastic thing for West Australian Speedway to have such strong numbers. And there's probably another 20 cars out there that quite haven't made the track yet.
Yeah. As you say, Jai Corbett from Queensland be back in the Monty Motorsport car. That's a good combination there.
It sure is.
Great stuff. All right, let's just move on a little bit now, Con. We haven't had any further racing since the Maddington Toyota sprint car points were put up, but let's just recap on those. Dane Kingshot and Callum Williamson still leading on 590 points from Taylor Milling on 566. Very, very close. I know that's only after 3 rounds, but what a competition it is, the richest competition in Australian sprint car.
Yes, and that's tremendous to see. And Daniel Harding, who went to Napa race in Adelaide, and unfortunately never fired a shot in anger because of the fact that it got washed out. Brad Mayola, Michael Keane, Jason Kendrick, Christopher Core, James Inglis and Jason Pride make out the top 10. And as I say, less than 80 points separate 1 from 10, so it's still a very close competition. And when we go into the new year, it'll get even more interesting.
Yes, indeed. Now, come on, let's just have a look at this one. Again, no further movement since our last show. Boyan Upseller, Sprint Car Driver of the Year. That's in conjunction with the Spirit of Speedway on SEN Radio Network 621. And the results of that are Callum Williamson, 23 points, Dane King shot 19 and Daniel Harding on 5. And already that's turning into an exciting competition after 3 rounds gone.
Very much so. And, of course, the points fairly spread out there. But we all know that once we get into the new year part of it, there'll be other drivers coming more into form. And so that'll make it very, very close. And look, Dane King shot the way he's been driving this year. I really can't see him losing a lot of his momentum, and the same was with Callum. Callum's had a little bit of bad luck in recent weeks with problems, and they put that machine on his car to test to see if he had traction control, and that I think was faulty, and they've sent it off to be repaired or be checked out. And maybe he might get a meeting without having to put it on his race car.
Look, I agree with you, Con. It's been a bit of a tough run for him, but boy, has that car got some speed in it once he gets the thing sorted out.
Yeah, good driver, very good.
And now we move on to the John Day Speedcar Classic. What an event this is every year. It's my favourite speedcar event of the year, I think, without doubt.
Well, you've got 24 nominations. So they've come from the woodwork completely. We've got 4 interstate drivers in the field. And when you look at this, Kaidon Brown, national champion, Harry Stewart from Queensland, Travis Mills from Victoria, and Bart Kernow from Victoria, added to our own local team. And the Speedcar Club have been doing a lot of serious work because they've been getting some of the guys there, like young Mitchie Harris is coming back from who hasn't raced a speedcar for a couple of seasons, although he did race a wingless. So he's back into the field, and that's only going to be but good. I don't suggest for a minute that young Mitchie's going to win the race, but the thing is that it's good for the field because it gives these guys something to work on.
Absolutely. Travis Mills, interesting one, driving the number 52 Lee Redmond car that Cody Nash drove last season.
Good car.
A terrific car. So I don't know a lot about Travis, or Bart for that matter, but if he can drive at all in that car, he'll be a serious contender.
And we know the Harry Stewart Graham Jones car has had a workout because Tom Buddha-Payat raced it last Wednesday week and sorted out a few little problems that Graham had. So he's confident. Graham spoke to me the other day and he said he's confident the car's going to go well. So it'll be really now up to the driver to show how good he'll be on the night.
Yes. So, Con, let's go and have a look at the list for speed cars. It's a cracking list. Let's have a look at it.
Yes, 24 cars there, Graham.
24 cars, that's great, isn't it? The biggest field we've had all year, Con.
I think the biggest field for many, many years, probably maybe at the Motorplex's history. I'm not too sure we've ever had more cars from a local point of view, although we've had them for national titles. But this is a tremendous lineup. And then you see Jake Robinson returning back from a sprint car to race his speed car. You've got Patrick Watson, Keenan Fleming, Justin Felton, Aaron Sharp, Kaidon Brown, and Lackey Marsh. I don't know a lot about Lackey, but we wish him all the best.
Number 10, Johnny Terracchio, is it? Is that how you pronounce it? Terracchio, whatever. Terriacca.
Yeah. Well, he used to race a sedan. So.
Yeah, look, the car is a beautiful car. It's one that's been built up, as I understand, from bits and pieces. I think it's a brand new chassis, but he's got some other bits from the Bennett Motorsport team, and the car is, when you look at it in the pits, it's just outstanding.
Well, John Fenton was telling me the other day that he spent a couple of days going up there and helping them to set that car up. And he was saying to me that they're a very, very keen family. His dad races with him. And so this is a very interesting young prospect for the future. Not immediately, because there's some tough nuts to crack in this field, as you know. Even you add the likes of Vaughan Manders, and it wouldn't surprise me if we find even Daniel Harding get behind the wheel of a speed car sooner than later. But that is just showing you what's happening. The Speedcar Club are really around at the moment and making sure that division doesn't die.
And isn't it good that Daniel Golding's put Kaidon Brown in the car for this John Day Classic. It'll be a beauty.
Brilliant.
Con, we'll go for a quick break and we'll come right back after this. Don't go away.
At Maddington Toyota, we're all about great deals, value, quality and service. Head to our website for quality new, demo and pre-owned vehicles with videos so you can find your perfect car. We can organise the details by phone and email and deliver the car right to you. Check out the entire Toyota range, plus a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all backed by our real commitment to great service. Maddington Toyota, great deals and great service. Oh, what a feeling.
Well, there we are, Maddington Toyota. We thank them for their support and all that they do for Speedway Con Migro.
Unbelievable, Graham. They've done such a wonderful job for many, many years, and it's getting stronger each year, and that's what I like to see. And I always just strongly urge everyone that watches this show and or maybe looking for a new or used car, go and think of Maddington Toyota first, second and third. Don't ever go past them.
Absolutely. Con, we've been talking about the John Day Classic for speed cars, and here's last year's winner, Nicholas Rowe. What a champion he was for that year as well.
Absolutely. And he started the season off better probably, but he's just had little niggling motor problems which has probably sidelined him, and most times it's been discretion better than valour to make sure that he doesn't want to hurt the motor. But if that car and the whole motor is working, you've got no doubt about this kid's ability. He is one of the raw stars of the sport. And with some good sponsorship to still come his way, I reckon you'd probably have a guy that is quite capable of winning a national crown.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, he did finish fourth in the 2023 or 4 national title here at the Perth Motorplex, didn't he? Yeah. He's got a ton of ability. It's a very good car, although he's had a few little niggling problems that put him out mid to three-quarter race. But if he can keep that thing going, and I understand he's had a bit of support and help in the engine department, so really looking forward to seeing if he can, in fact, retain his John Day Classic Championship.
I agree with you.
Back at the Motorplex Con on December the 6th, late models, how good is that? And there's going to be some really, really good, I'll just show you the field there. Brad Blake doing a lot of work in Bunbury, and we'll talk about that a little later on. Robbie Cox from 2J, Northern area, he'll be back in the field.
Former solo rider.
Yes, he's a good young competitor. He hasn't quite got the time or the budget to put a full package together, but he's got a lot of ability.
Now, here's a little story, Graham, the fact that the two Oldfields are in America, looking at the indoor race in Pennsylvania, and this is a chance for someone else to be in the winner's circle. Maybe it won't be an Oldfield, but I think there's one Oldfield in the race, and he's by the name of Bo.
Bo Oldfield, yes.
So don't be surprised if he doesn't pop up. But here's an opportunity for some of the drivers now who say, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's just have another look at that. Joe Chalmers, of course, needs no introduction. Ken McPherson, what a cracking driver he is.
Yep.
Michael Holmes, he's put his name in the hat for this one. Luke Halliday at Pickering, of course, in the 90s. David Nylander, what about him the last outing? Yes. Apart from eventually tapping the fence and bending a steering arm, he was a rocket ship all night long. And, of course, you can never discount Brent Vosbergen.
No, well, David Nylander's all the season has shown a lot of improved form. He went down to Alba the other day, and I think he finished second in one of the big races down there. So he is chipping away slowly but surely, and maybe we'll have a season that he will be on the podium more than not.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, all of these guys have got a lot of potential, haven't they? You know, late models are so exciting, and we missed them last time out, but they'll be back with us. So I just can't wait for what they have to offer. And Con, let's have a look at this. Apart from late models, we've also got wingless sprints back, and look at the field, would you? 33 cars in there. That's
only half of them. And the Iowa Owls went to Margaret River last weekend and dominated the event. It was quite interesting that a big part was Manjimup, and that was the only major race meeting in WA that was on last Saturday night. So apparently the car count was excellent. And I was talking to young Scott Beattie, who was saying to me the fields were very strong. And again, it was freezing cold. So if you ever want to get away from the heat in any time, go to a speedway on a Saturday night. It's on.
Yes, indeed. They're a great class, aren't they?
Yeah.
The boys have a lot of fun, and they put on some great racing, despite the fact that they're often the last event of the season and they've got to run on the track that is presented to them. But despite that, they put on some great racing, don't they?
Well, we have, and we've got Matthew Ironhow, and we've got Darren Humphrey. He's another class driver. Probably Darren's a little bit too old to probably go into another division, but we're both very, very keen supporters of the Ironhow boys. They're very quiet. They say nothing really, but they're the kids that the future of the sport is very much in their hands.
I noticed Blake's not in the field. We haven't seen.
No.
I don't think we've seen him at all at
He's
the
probably
Motorplex.
sick of getting beaten by his brother. I'll have to find that out.
Yes, it'll be interesting, won't it? All right, let's move on a little bit, Con, because plenty of speedway to talk about, including high limit internationals. We mentioned this again on our last show, but look at the list of Americans that'll come across, and as we know, Brock Zierfost and Justin Whittle here for this event on December the 6th. So what a good field that will be on December the 6th. But look at this field.
Oh, my God. That's, really, if you want to look through any World of Outlaws or high limits in America, and these names are all at the top of the list. And, Kyle Larson's already indicated that he's not going to do the Indy 500 next year. He's just going to concentrate on NASCAR and Speedway because his first love is sprint car racing, and that's good. And Graham, you've got the list there of the drivers, and that's a pretty special little lineup, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Kyle Larson there, you just spoke about him. Brad Sweet retired from full-time racing, but he'll be here on December the 6th, December the 28th, 29th and 30th. Boy, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
And we've also got Buddy Kofoid and Carlson Macedo. He'll be driving the JNS Drilling number 60 car for John McClellan. So that'll be really special.
Brand new car. And Buddy had that wild speed car crash in California a fortnight ago. So hopefully by then he's cured a little bit. He'll love the Motorplex because she's a big high speed track, and he'll love that.
Well, talking about the track con, here's a picture of last year's event. Big crowd in the background there, but tons of cars, all good quality cars. And some of our Western Australian boys now have had some experience on the East Coast as well. So we haven't yet heard too much about any of the East Coasters coming, I hope. But if we didn't get one East Coaster con, the Americans here will be just so special. And I think you need to book early and be part of it.
I believe Jock Goodyear's going to be here, and a couple of other guys. Now, here's another little story to the right of where we sit on a race night. Gavin's had erected a new grandstand, and that's for some VIP people that are paying extra to go there to view the sport. So every bit of space that's available, it's going to be taken.
Oh, absolutely. Con, I wanted to mention this because Brad Blake down at Bunbury Speedway has been doing some remarkable things, that ripped up the entire track and put a new one down, and they're still working on that. But I just put a few pictures up there on the slide, Con, because it's not just a question of ripping out a bit of dirt. There are, I think, 8,000 tonnes was a figure that I heard of soil that came out of the track, and then you've got to replace that. But you've got to bed it down, you've got to turn it over, you've got to wet it and grade it and make sure all the levels are right. It's a big, big job, isn't it?
It sure is, and Brad's the man. He's had being helped by Jamie Oldfield, and now Jamie's off to America for a month. So, but Jamie should be back in time for when they have their first meeting in January. I went and made their commercials last week, and so he's got the place starting to really jump. And there's a lot of talk. He had an interview on our show last week on our radio show. And no doubt he'll be doing a lot of TV work down there as well.
Well, they did put a GWN via Channel 7, I think it was, that put a story up about Bunbury. It had a huge amount of views on the thing. So the publicity for Bunbury has been great, and I couldn't be more pleased. And we thank Channel 7 for these pictures that we're looking at now.
Correct.
So Bunbury Speedway, January the 3rd, I think, Con, isn't it? So get yourself down there, get some tickets early if you need be. It'll be a great show down there for them. And Con, how good is this? Racing Drivers Association of WA anointed Peter Roebuck West Australian photographer for over 60 years with the Hall of Fame. So
well, he's been an enormous supporter of the sport. He still to this day goes to all the country tracks that he can. He's very dedicated to his job. The man, I think 4 or 5 years ago, they tipped him to be the life member. It never came his way, so I'm glad that last Saturday night they gave him that gong. A man who, there's not a photographer in this country, probably in the world, that's dedicated their life as much as he has, and good on him. He's thoroughly deserved it. And you said rightly in a little text message you said to me, I hope his jokes improve.
Yeah, well, we should remind Peter, of course, that award is for his photography, not for his jokes. So a little bit of work there to do, Peter, before you get a gong for those. But great work and congratulations from Con and I and the team here at Talk About Speedway. And you can't underestimate the work that Peter and all the other photographers, for that matter, do for Speedway, isn't it? They're on social media and it helps develop the sport and keep it all in front of people. So thanks, Peter. It really is a great effort.
Apparently they did a magazine for the RDA dinner the other night, and he went through 60 years of photos. He's got them all catalogued, and they used them for the magazine that they produced. So it's good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me, Con. Camping down at the Perth Motorplex, how good is that for people who have caravans that want to get down there? You'll be able to look at Speed Week and then the High Limit International and then the balance of the Speed Week right up to the end of January the 3rd and enjoy camaraderie with all the teams and people down there. It's great fun. You and I have done it for several seasons now, and I would urge people to ring the Motorplex or get on their website and get some tickets for it.
Well, if you really love Speedway, it's a great place to be. It's a lot of atmosphere. You talk to a lot of the drivers while they work in the race cars during the day, and you have a get-together at night time. And then, of course, on the main nights, there's Speedway racing, and it's just a great thing. And young Dino Tubba Rab Jones, he looks after the camping area to make sure that everyone's parked in the right spot. So it's a very, very good feeling and a lot of fun. I think about 80 people have already taken up the chance to be able to park there, and I believe that...
I don't think there are too many spots left.
No, so it's pretty good.
But the camaraderie, with all other teams, old drivers, previous stars of the sport, just to rub shoulders with them, to have a barbecue with them and a few drinks and all those sort of things, it's just so special. So if you're a fair dinkum Speedway supporter and you've got a caravan, get yourself up to the Perth Motorplex, book some tickets and be part of it.
For sure.
Con, we're getting close to the end of our show, but we just need to remind people of our 2 radio shows that we do, 91.3 Sport FM, Let's Talk Speedway, and The Spirit of Speedway on SEN 621 Bunbury, and our thanks to Pittard Motors and Hydrolink Bunbury, and of course Boy and Upsellers for those.
Yes, 2 very good shows.
And Maddington Toyota, for that matter, for the 91.3 Sport FM program.
And we're getting a lot of feedback from people that enjoy it, particularly sometimes if they can't make the Speedway, at least they know what's going on. And if they do make the Speedway, they're able to recap on the things that happened the night or the week before. So I strongly urge you on in those regions, and we're in the Kalgoorlie region as well now, so we're probably doing 3/4 of the state. The next part of the state we've got to conquer is Perth Metro, and that's in the pipeline.
Yes, and indeed 6:21 a.m. in Bunbury do a podcast of the Spirit of Speedway, so if you do miss it at 2 o'clock on Fridays, then you can tune into their app and listen to the podcast at a later date. So we thank them for that. Con, that just about brings us to the end of our program, and next week, boy, we won't have enough time to fit everything in after December the 6th meeting. I'm so looking forward to that.
Well, we'll have to probably sleep here from next Saturday night till we can get through the stuff that we've got to talk about. It's going to be a huge show. I strongly urge everyone to enjoy the meeting this week. And a little bit of a road safety message from us. We're now going into a very important part of the year, so please drive with courtesy on the road.
Absolutely. Well, Con, thanks for your company. Really appreciate that, and we appreciate you for tuning in and listening and watching, and we hope you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to your company again this time next week.
Thanks, Graham.
Bye for now.